Speaking Spanish correctly. A guide for correct Spanish pronunciation. This guide is not organized alphabetically. It is organized phonemically, that is, by the sound of the letters. In this way, the letters are grouped by the similarity in points of articulation in speech and the differences in sound. Technical linguistic information is given for an added information. This information specifies 3 areas aiding correct pronunciation. First, the point of articulation, or the action of pronouncing, where the tongue is in the mouth and what parts of the mouth are involved. The voiced or unvoiced, that's the engagement of the vocal cords. And aspiration, or the flow of air or the lack thereof produced in the release of the sound prior to the onset of the next sound sequence. Alveolar fricative. Fricative, as the term sounds, involves a slight detaining of air, causing friction at the point of where the air is partially stopped. This term refers to the pronunciation of letters that are made when allowing air to pass through or over the front teeth, while the sides of the tongue form a stop laterally, detaining the air from flowing around the sides of the tongue. This causes friction and the subsequent sound S if unvoiced, or Z if voiced. In Spanish, the letters S and Z are alveolar fricatives and are both unvoiced. They both, therefore, are pronounced like the S in English. The C is also an alveolar fricative and sounds like S, only in the environment of E and I. The following slides will show you. The S and the C in Spanish. The S is pronounced the same as it is in English, and the C is pronounced as an S when it is used with the letter E and the letter I, as you can see here. So sa, se, si, so, su, and then in red, se, si. Now you'll remember that the C with the A is ka, and K, ki, and here it's ka, ko, ku. Those are crossed out, as you can see. Se and si. First word, sacudir, sacudir. Sensación, sensación. Silla, silla. Cebolla, cebolla. Circo, circo. And that gives the example of both. C is a K sound and C is an S sound. Circo. Solo, solo. Sur, sur. Second line, when it's in the middle of the word, same pronunciation. Asado, asado. Asentar, asentar. Así, así. Acechar, acechar. Cocinar, cocinar. Caso, caso. Asumir, asumir. Sometimes the S and the C are together, and when they occur that way, sometimes they have the K sound, and they're two separate, but when they're with E and I, then they keep the S sound. Look at the first word. Escalofrío, escalofrío. Esqueleto, esqueleto. Esquiar, esquiar. But ascensor, ascensor. Discípulo, discípulo. Jalisco, Jalisco. Escuela, escuela.
The Z in Spanish, in English, is also S in Spanish. Sa, se, si, so, su. Zambullir, zambullir. Cenit, cenit. Zigzag, zigzag. Sonso, sonso. Sulu, sulu. And the next line, ganso, ganso. Asimo, asimo. Sonso, the second Z. Sonso. And azul, azul.
Labiovelar and palatal approximants. Labiovelar, the lips are rounded and the tongue is somewhat retroflexed near the back of the mouth. Palatal, the tongue is near the roof of the mouth, or the palate. The letter W is a labiovelar approximant. The letters Y and eye are palatal approximants. They are both voiced and pronounced as you would in English. The eye, however, is pronounced slightly different from the Y, in that the tongue is closer to the palate, causing a more fricative sound. Following slides will show you.
The W in Spanish is not really used. Again, for borrowed words like Walter, William, formal words like that. In some cases, the W, when written in Spanish, becomes GU plus a vowel, because instead of saying William, it's usually Guiliam or Guili. There's usually a little G in front of it. So we're not going to have words with this, although it is in the alphabet. The Y is used when an I has to change to a Y as a consonant instead of a vowel. And the double L is strictly a consonant. Doesn't replace the I as the consonant value of Y, of I, is just like Y does. So these are pronounced identical. In some cases, the double L has a little bit more of a J sound. So instead of ya, 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 not made traditionally the J way, and just putting a little bit more vibration where you put in the Y of ya, put a little ya, close it a little bit more, ya, ye. Sounds kind of stupid, doesn't it? Y, ya, close it a little bit more, ya. So the first line, ya, ye, yi, yo, you. Second line, ya, ye, yi, yo, you. Yankee, Yankee. Yegwa, Yegwa. Yiddish, Yiddish. Yo, Yo. Yucca, Yucca. Next line, when the Y is in the middle, or interior to the word, Maya, Maya. Inyectar, inyectar. There's no example for YI in the beginning of a word. Ayote, ayote. Ayunar, ayunar. And with double L, llave, llave. Lleno, lleno. No double L beginning a word. Llorar, llorar. Lluvia, lluvia. You can hear the difference between, let's compare Yankee and llave. If we say Yankee, llave. Yankee, llave. Yegua, lleno. The second word now we're comparing Y and double L. Yegua, lleno. Third one, fourth one we'll pronounce with yo. Yo, llorar. Yo, llorar. Yuca, lluvia. Yuca, lluvia. Finally, double L also happens in the middle of the word, and it's pronounced the same way. A little friction, little y. Again, put your tongue in the position of Y, yi, yo, yo, but tighten it up a little bit so that there's a little friction. Yo, 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 yo. So it's actually as high as your tongue can go in making the Y sound without closing it completely. Allanar, allanar. Belleza, belleza. Allí, allí. Bello, bello. Cabelludo, cabelludo. If we look at the second word with the Y, Maya, let's look at that line. And then allanar, the last line, compare the two Y sounds. Maya, allanar. Inyectar, belleza. Ayote, bello. Ayunar, cabelludo.